The Marquis steps, oh, he's got nose over. Over the road banks, oh, and over the road. Oh, it gets a bit more spectacular there, though.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Speed Without Engine, the place where fast-paced action meets pure fun. Get ready for some sick designs, crazy crashes, and tons of laughs. Let's go.
47. So they've already made a big impression at the top of the course. Can they make a big impression now with the of concentration here in Cincinnati for the COWBOYS? For the course, certainly in terms of the visual look of the speed of the soapbox on it for the day. Here we go, over we go with big air! And the manatee's lost its nose. Who's first? Now he's got to walk it. Look how determined he is. Go on, Justin, scream the crowd. He's nearly there, he's shattered. Plops down into the sea. Here today in Lisbon, as opposed to putting one out, which they so often do. But they've gone for the small wheels and the tall vehicle. Time he starts to open it up a little bit, it starts to wobble. Here's the first one. The Marquis steps, oh, he's got nose over. He went nose first. There was no stopping. Watch this here, he's nearly gone there. Now he's thinking, oh, Julian and Dylan are the respective pilots of this one. Julian's Donald Trump, rapidly approaching, and it's a right into a left, and it's gone. Look at that. Wow. That was spectacular. Good to see the two lads both up and on their feet, because that went really quickly into the straw. The problem is you come down the course like this, you've got to go right, and then you've got to go left, and if you go too quick, you lose it like that. And off we go. It's a gigantic piglet. Exactly the kind of soapbox I like. Nice and wide, difficult to handle. Lots of potential issues. Really good, though. See the fear in the pig's eyes. Here we go towards the kicker. Over we go. Now we've got the chicane. Over we go. Let's have a look at the time. 45.21. He's losing it now. He's lost it now. Well, he got all the way down and then couldn't quite hold it at the end, but he's popped back up like an Olympic gymnast and given the pig one right. Creativity, and off we go. Around the berm. Oh, no, not around the berm. Straight up the berm and back down again. The idea is to turn. Maybe he got his left and rights mixed up as well because he just went straight on. It's a long way down when you find yourself up there. Here's the kicker. There's the car wash. See, the car wash had time to get itself going by the time you'd rolled at the top. What about the time? Basically, the grandkids have forced Sagitas to do this. So, great on-board shot that shows you how quickly you can pick up speed at the top. And he's over the kicker. Play down. Now let's have a look at this. Oh, yes, nice and quick through there. NAIKINTUVAS. Over the bone rattler, he's fine. Very well designed. Look at his face over the bone rattler. Have a future in Red Bull soapbox races. 52.04. But he knows there, look. Oh! And the baby stroller theme, because in 2012, two teammates got married and had a child. Over the road banks, oh, and over the road banks. First team that's come to grief there. All far have just managed to nibble the edges, but they were completely out of line going in. Since the VT was recorded yesterday, by the way, as well. Look at this. No chance, absolutely no. This is a white knuckle ride. The Samurai Gate. Stabilizers are working well here. With you, my friend, I am with you. Watch this, brilliant. Over the seesaw. Now the kicker, wobbling, go. Moving down to, he's gone high, he's gone wide, he's gone round it too. How did he stay on there? Oh, he's over, and then he's rolled in, he's in. Look at that, how on earth has he managed that? And then straight into the greenery at the end. Scored today on performance, on creativity, and of course, on speed. Kicker one and kicker two, then there's a chicane, and then there's a seesaw, and that could be interesting too. So there's the first two. You're in complete control of your soapbox, otherwise you're going to catch it like they did there. The wings on the side didn't help at all. That chicane is not great when you've got wings. We've got the seesaw to finish. Through we go. Oh, I got straight into the bales. You can see straight away that this is a narrow course. It's a quick course. The teams are judged, and they're all colleagues from an advertising agency. And down we go, and he's gone already. Hard for that. That's when it first went wrong. He went about 20 metres and down. Bosh. Down he goes to the bone rattler then. He's really struggling to hold this together. He's having all kinds of problems with it. If you take too much speed into these hairpins today, you're going to have a real challenge. Now it really starts to get steep, and he's gone again. Cannot keep it upright. Well, if this is a taste of things to come today, we're going to have an absolute classic. Down to the finish. That took ages. 2 minutes and 17 seconds. How much of that is going to be left by the time they get to the bottom? It looks destined to fall apart at the seams. 20 for the performance, 26 before that for creativity, and one of the legs has gone already. This looks flimsy, doesn't it? The wheels, oh, look at this. It's just collapsed at the back, look, it's absolutely gone. No chance whatsoever. There we go, watch this. Watch the back left as you look at it, goes there, look, and he can't, it just collapses like a deck of cards at the back. You can see the look on John's face at the back. He's thinking, we came all this way for that. What I like about this team, and this is the moment of truth though, you can have the best creativity in the world, but if the Soapbox can't get from top to bottom, you've got a problem. Let's see whether they didn't lose any. Oh, look at that! They've lost one. They've lost one. Fernando's gone out the back. They've left Fernando on the whale tail. Here he is running down after Rafa. They started with 2. They're down to 1. They're taken on the berm. They lost a puff behind on the whale tail. Watch this. There he goes. There he goes. Hang on. Hang on. Out. Love it. There's the onboard. Look how much height they got, and it's all about that landing. That just shook Fernando off the back. There he is. In a time of 1:19.8. One of, if not the greatest footballer of all time, and this team representing him here today. And the GOAT. It's very, very big and cumbersome, this Soapbox, isn't it? So Ahmad is back on the run. Heading down towards this kicker. Over the kicker! Spectacular, fine as well. Some kind of momentum, something creeps in and causes them a problem. Very, very good over there. Look how wide it is when you see the overhead shot. Flies over there, brilliant. This looks like it's going to be quick. And you can't help but wonder how... Oh, they've gone again. They've gone again. And they're going to need to be pushed to the finish, and any hopes of a decent time sadly gone for Abu TIAGO. 1:30. What's in store next? Such a dramatic event so far. 41 for the performance. Off we go. Around the berm. My fingers tightly crossed. Not as tightly crossed as theirs. Through the car wash. Here's the water! Oh, he's gone through there really fast. Can he keep it going through here? Stair set next. Down the stair set, nose first, but still going. It's the straw, he's backwards now. There's the stair set. Look at that through there. Wow. There's the crash into the straw, but it's at the finish where he forgets. He forgets there's a drop, and he got run over. Here's the finish. Here's the finish. And down. Oh, he doesn't know there's a drop. Oh, he's going to be run over. He's going to be run over. He didn't know there was a drop there. A performance score of 19. They'll need a good run here. And they're already wobbly. Off down the ramp at the beginning. Concentration etched on the face of Dominic, the pilot, as he gets over the kicker. And then the water. He's lost it. He's lost it. He's out. Team Taurus won. This is where it all went wrong. The wheels have gone there, look, left and right. And this one is extremely bright and extremely big. And we'll see whether it can be extremely successful. The smoke is there. I think he might need water and bridge here because it's so wide, this one. Just about gets it over the bridge, gingerly. Might need to release the brakes at some stage. There's GIVRÉS on the way down in a very unspectacular run at this stage. Oh, it gets a bit more spectacular there, though. It's the kicker before the corner. There's the spin, and then the whole momentum just took the polystyrene apart. Look at the size of the wheels, and look at the size of the handlebars. Look at her face. I know how you feel. Oh, it's gone! From the onboard camera, it starts to go, and then you can't get it back. You just saw the shadow.
Through the first section, good.
Keep it going. She might need a push. Right, we're moving down towards the potholes now. Oh, helmet's gone. That's fast enough. Don't worry about that. Here's the kicker then. Oh, helmet's gone. We can. Don't worry about the time. Different types of technology and lots of different types of wheels. And we really are now at the business end of the competition as well. Not too many more opportunities to really make a good time. And we'll see what this particular team can do. They've certainly got off to a good start. Unlike some, they've got real momentum at the top. A lot of the teams that we've seen so far today have been quite slow in this particular section. But these look quick at this stage. And they've flown over the gravel trap as well. And they're getting faster all the time. Over the jump for the second time, still going. They've got the really tricky piece to come. If they can get through this nicely, then they could be in for a good time. They're really motoring now. Look how fast they're going. And they go over the finish line in 40 seconds. If not, you die. No pressure then. They've got to get to the finish. And they've started off okay. Nice. Picking up speed all the time. And have dropped in front of his eyes. I don't know whether he can see going around the berm. Oh, there's maybe the answer. Because he's not wiped it out on the berm. Look, he can't see. He can't see where he's going. Poor man. Ruined them, didn't it? And it was looking so good. 39.5. That would have been so striking for Death Power. And down they go with the smoke billowing out the back of the soapbox. Look at that for an onboard view. Plenty, doesn't it? Nice and sticky on the tarmac surface, which has been relayed for this particular event. Nosedives off the kicker. So it becomes a backseat driver. What happened here? Oh, the steering wheel comes off in his hands. You've got to bolt those down, my friend. You can't leave it like that. And Death Power had absolutely no chance. Like, on track. So off they go. Nice and steady at the top. Around the next corner they go! I was about to say around the next corner they go, but they didn't make it. There's the roll, there's the tarmac, game over. And of course, most importantly, speed down the circuit. This is Turbo Lego that turns into a couch. Let's hope it stays with being a soapbox today. Around the berm, and you see the finish line, there it is. The back comes off and the sides do, and the front's gone as well. It's becoming a couch in front of our eyes. Over the finish line they go, 30.82. It's only... And Turbo Lego, the first crew down there, and making it despite... And let's see what Dick Dastardly and his crew can do here. The steampunk mean machine is over pit. This is moving towards the steepest section of this course, and they get some real air over. It's quick, this one, isn't it? Bone Rattler, a little bit of a double hit over Bone Rattler, which made it thought he might lose it for a moment. Over Factory, one-handed through there for a spell, and he skipped it across the... Oh, he's rolled it! Slightly overconfident at the end, didn't he? What a spectacular... So that's the last car of the day, Tim. Who's going away with the prize? They're off and running, and they've got those little small wheels and a much narrower soapbox this time, which... to speed, taking them into it, flies over there, and they've lost a lot of it. They've lost the back left wheel. He's got a right perler at the end. This is where it all goes wrong. The front wheels are fine. It's the back left that flies off. Battling its way down the course, trying to get there. There's the chicane. They're not going to make it past the chicane, are they? So And the civil engineer, it certainly looks the part, this one. Nice and slick, off down the ramp and looking quick already. They've got no excuses here, this particular team. There's the disco tunnel, safely through there. The suspension either side, meaning it's not been a problem so far. Through the Bone Shaker, here in the Domain Park, the city's oldest park, and down they go, picking up speed all the time. Here's the berm, heading now towards Crash Corner, and it lives up to its name as they spin it through there. That's what Crash Corner's there for, to find the speed and make them pay. But it would have been so much faster, wouldn't it, if they could have kept it together through there. They were doing so well until they got to Crash Corner. They had too much speed, not enough control. Flops over the final ramp and over the finish. The crowd are really enjoying it. They've really warmed to it. So really Struthers on the side, and he's got the giant wheel at the back, and then that humongous head, humongous mask perched on his shoulder. I don't remember which lever to pull at which time. There's the kicker, very slow over there. There's the double kicker. Got a big, oh, he started to lose it. Oh, he's gone, look at that. Oh, there he goes, look at that. That looked painful, didn't it? Get down to the finish. He's going quick. Finish line, starting to wobble again. Oh. Box down the hill, creativity and performance. Lots and lots of speed at the top, but there's no surprise there. I'm not quite sure where he can see. Oh, there he is, just through that dark window there. He keeps some speed towards the bottom. So, oh, he's gone at the burn. Too much speed, loses balance, over he goes. Now the green machine bites the dust at that stage. Push behind, isn't he? Over the, oh, he's gone! He's gone. Whose round is it? Is it yours? In the face, look. He doesn't mind. Over the finish line, 1:03. Here we go. Oh! Oh! Down we go. Look at him go over the top. Love it. Drag it down. Creativity. So the Chug Jug Bush Wookiees need a good run. Screams disaster. Everything screams disaster. But let's see. Oh! There they go! If they can get the side off, I think they can get going again. They can, look. I don't fancy the kicker on that if they get that far. I'm just making that point. Not very fast, although it will get faster in a minute because it gets steeper again at the bottom. Here we go. Nice and sedate, nice and steady over the kicker. Worse. And then down to the finish in 1:43. Oh, there we go. Here's the berm. Small wheels at the front, big ones at the back. So far, so good with the kicker next on the agenda. It's gone from a sprint to a trundle. Oh, look at that. 0.25. When your wheels go, your wheels go. Here we go, we're all right again. Through the car wash. Look at all the foam. Let's have a look. The best time today was just over 25 seconds, to give you an idea. There we go then, not a great deal. Here's the kicker then. He's arrived. What can they do around the berm? Oh, not a great deal, apart from fall off. Whoever's idea it was to put the straw bales just there, you were correct. Through the water. I'm surprised really that nobody has found the water more difficult. This one's going to bounce over the bone rattler, we know that. There we go. And then down towards the finish. They're going to make it. Dragging more with them than they anticipated. Oh, I thought they were going to go again. I thought they were going to go again. 122. They've lost one fella on the ramp. Look at the size of these wheels. They shouldn't be seen. Being very Samurai Gate. Squeeze of the brakes. Wants to go. Wants to... There's his kicker. Right then, here's the berm. Here's the berm. Here's... Oh, look at that! Oh, there's the berm! Oh, my word! There are tyres, safety tyres behind there. But look, yes, you can. 106.12. The berm is supposed to be a corner. So let's see how this one does. Will the bread roll? We'll see. Moving down towards this kicker, and over we go. Oh, can he hold it? Can he hold it? No, he can't. It was going well, but when you make a visit to the straw bales, then that's going to scrub a significant amount of time off what you might have had. Here's the second kicker. That's a little bit better. In fact, that's a lot better. Paradise Bakery's just about there, and but for that minor indiscretion at the top, that would have been an even better time. 53.